Time to make fridge soup. A few days ago, I made a whole chicken in this crock pot here. It was a chicken roast in the crock pot. There were onions and carrots and potatoes, and you can still see a few of the veggies that I missed when I was getting it all out. So after I deboned the chicken, I left the fat in here as well as the bones, and it's been cooking in the crock pot, cooking down for a couple days. So now we are ready to strain this lovely, delicious broth off, and we're going to use this broth to make our fridge soup. So here you can see that we strained it all off. Now these bones are very soft. See, they just break very easily. You see that? They just crumble. Some people don't want to feed bones to their dogs. We always do. We've never ever had a dog die. But anyway, whether they are raw bones or cooked bones, we have never had any issues. However, if you do, there is a way that you can feed these to your dog without any issue whatsoever. Take all of this mash right here and put it in a food processor or some kind of, strong blender. Add a little bit of water or some broth if you want, just enough to where it's not so dry, and blend it up. And these bones will turn into a paste, almost like what canned dog food's like. Okay? So you can give that to your dog or your cat without any concerns of them getting hurt by the bones. Here's our broth. It is dark and beautiful and very delicious. When I cooked the chicken, I seasoned it with my herb mixture. This is why we call it fridge soup, because you literally put whatever you have left over that needs to be used up in the fridge, you put it in your soup. So here I have about a quart of some potatoes that I had already partially boiled for another meal and I didn't need them all. Then I have a bowl of some brown rice left. I have some onions left, and I do have more in the fridge if I want to add more. I have a half a head of cabbage. And then I had some frozen zucchini slices that I had sliced up 2 years ago and I froze. Anyway, so I just wanted you to see what they look like. This is what they look like. So this is after 2 years. And the reason these are all funky looking is because when I opened the bag, I, squeezed them like this to get out some of the excess water. Okay? So that is why it's called fridge soup, because you use whatever you have in the fridge that needs to be used up. And you simply season this whatever tastes good to you. So season to your taste and it's done. So in here we have our rice, our onions, the potatoes, and the zucchini that was frozen. I just diced up the zucchini pretty small so it's not those long lasagna type strips. And then the last thing I'm going to add in, at least right now, I'll taste as I go, is the shredded cabbage that I just shredded with a knife. Now, if you have any protein in your fridge, chicken or beef or deer or anything like that, and it needs to be used up, go ahead and throw it in here as well. The only protein I have ready to go in the fridge is some taco meat and then some tuna salad. And I'm definitely not putting tuna salad in here. And the taco meat, I plan to make some tortillas today, so we'll finish the taco meat off later today for another meal. To give this a little pop of color, you could add some carrots. Carrots would be good in here, but I am fresh out of carrots. I could use my canned carrots, but I don't really want to. So again, you can put anything in here that you want or that you have. You could put some beans in here. If you don't have any meat, you could put some beans in here for added protein. And they could be any kind of beans you want. I bet navy beans would probably be good in here, but you could do pinto beans, black beans, whatever kind of beans you have. If you have some tomatoes that need to be used up, you could throw them in here. If you have celery, put it in here, whether it's fresh celery or dried. I do have some dried celery I may put in here, but I don't know because I'm not quite sure what flavor I want to go for yet. It is rainy and cool and foggy and dreary outside right now. So I'm kind of thinking I want like a warm comfort food. And if that's what I choose to go for, then it'll just be herbs type thing, like maybe thyme and rosemary, obviously garlic, and we're going to put plenty of salt in here and pepper. When it's closer to time to eat it, if I want it to be like a lighter color, I may add in a little bit of cream cheese or just some heavy cream from our raw milk. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and get this going. Right. So just turn the heat on. So that's the flavor I'm thinking I may go with, is just a cozy comfort food. If you don't have any broth, you can make this with just water. Again, just season it. Another protein option could be some type of seafood. You could put some shrimp in here and you could season it Cajun style. That would probably be very delicious. So you could do that. You could do a warm comfort type food with just some green herbs like thyme and rosemary, maybe even a little sage if you wanted. You could probably just put in poultry seasoning as well. You could also make it spicy if you wanted, or more of a, you could put in some chili powder. Again, the flavors are completely up to you. The amount of liquid that you add will depend on how thick or thin you want your soup or stew. Now, so I call this fridge soup or stew, depending on how it turns out. Again, because we took the things that needed to be used up, whatever they were, in the fridge and put them in a pot, and we're going to flavor it and it's going to taste delicious. My mom, when I grew up, my mom would do this every week, and you would never know what kind of soup you were going to be eating. If there was leftover beef stroganoff hamburger helper and leftover spaghetti, it was in the pot, along with whatever vegetables were left over that needed to be used up, such as green beans or corn. Sometimes, if she needed extra in there, she might open up some beans or some other type of vegetables and throw in there. But it may have looked strange, but it always tasted good because of the spices and the salt and the flavorings that you use, okay? So don't be afraid to throw things in a pot. You can make it taste good with spices and salt. And salt is not bad for you. At least real salt's not. I just added about 3 cloves of fresh garlic, and we're just going to sprinkle some salt in. That's about a tablespoon to get it started. Now we're just going to sprinkle in some black pepper. Again, just a taste. And then after it's been cooking for a little while, I will come back to it, taste it, and see if it needs more salt, more pepper, more garlic, or if I want to add any type of special herb or spice. I just put the camera down on that last little clip you saw, and I gave it a couple stirs. I tasted it. It tastes delicious right now, so I don't think I'm actually going to add anything else to it. It is delicious. So right now, once the potatoes are fully softened, which they should be because I did boil them a couple days ago. Oh, yeah, the potatoes they're soft enough. So the potatoes are done. Once the cabbage is tender enough, we can go ahead and serve this.